Hello traders, welcome back to Your Nifty Guy. I hope all of you are doing well. In today's video, we'll quickly decode what Nifty is really telling us after today's session, identify the key support and resistance zones for tomorrow, and then build a clear practical option trade plan for tomorrow's trading session. Just like every day, this is not about prediction, it's about preparation. I'll walk you through the exact structure I'm planning and how I decide my risk before I even enter the trade. If you are someone who trades weekly expiry and wants consistent process-driven setups instead of random entries, this video is made exactly for you. Also, a small reminder, don't just copy trades, try to understand the logic behind the setup because once you understand the logic, you can adjust the same plan even when the market behaves differently. A quick call to action before we begin. If you find these daily Nifty trade plans useful, please hit the like button, subscribe to Your Nifty Guy, and comment below. I love Nifty. It really helps the channel reach more serious traders like you. So stay with me till the end because along with the trade, I'll also share how I plan to manage the position if the market turns volatile or goes completely sideways. And the link to the Telegram community or the Telegram channel is also in the pinned comments. Make sure you are subscribed there as well, wherein I will be sharing in news and views related to the Indian stock market as well as high probable trade setups that are forming in the live market. So let's get straight to the charts. Today, markets opened with a big gap up and immediately came down, tried to fill the gap, but then did not. So I only took one trade today, which was the break of this particular red candle's high out here. A very simple trade based on the logic of explosion pivot gap. So this trade was on the long side, right? So which is already a clear bias that I have been speaking about ever since the 1200 point gap up that we saw on Nifty. Uh, and that was the exact reason why try to understand the logic. Market opened with a big gap up, agreed. We saw some selling at the start, agreed. This can be a profit booking candle itself. Post this, market created and settled a base. And whenever there is a gap in the market and the market tries to fill the gap but fails to do so, and out here, market failed to do so in a very, very beautiful sideways consolidation, wherein it formed a good lower higher low as well as a lower high, which was the sideways consolidation into triangle formation. But as soon as this particular high was taken out, market gave a good move. I will not say a very good momentum based move, but then yes, a good decent trade out here with less panic and anxiety and a clear exit out here as well. In this particular candle which was there and in this particular trade I captured around 15 points. At the time of entry, the stop loss was right below this uh, red candle's low with a brief small buffer as well. And out here, a small decent trade. And I was also speaking to Siddesh from the community in the live market, and he asked me whether we can short the markets out here. And I had clearly messaged him that I am not looking at any shorting trades unless we move back below this particular zone. And as you can see, anybody who would have shorted the markets out here would have been immediately stopped out of the market, right? Post this particular simple trade which was there, mostly the market was sideways. Like I always tell you guys, after a big gap up or a big gap down, the most of the move that has to have happened has already happened intraday and has already happened open overnight and on an intraday basis will not be getting a lot of trades. If you see, most of the day except for this small part here was inside the first 5 minutes candle range, right? So extremely sideways price action. In this, what happens is, of course, this trade was risky as well. And had it not been a good enough gap up and a trade wherein which is based on the concept of explosion pivot gap, I would not have taken this particular trade as well. But then simply because of the explosion pivot gap theory that we have, wherein market tries to fill a gap, fails to do so, and that is where you take a trade in the original direction of your bias. And that was the reason why I took this particular trade. And simple, good trade, nothing much to say or manage about. And post this, like you can say, a good amount of volatility. And I believe this. Market has been sideways for long enough, and maybe we can get some action tomorrow, being the weekly expiry. So on an intraday basis, also ever after this particular big gap up, we have been seeing on an intraday basis as well. Uh, Trade markets is mostly sideways, and you're not getting good moves on an intraday basis, and that is perfectly fine. And I hope tomorrow we get some good moves that we can make the best use of. So tomorrow being the weekly expiry, my usual disclaimer and word of caution to you guys. Whatever trades you are doing, except for the Hero Zero expiry special trade, make sure you are doing it in the following week's expiry and not in the options which are expiring tomorrow. You will be paying only a slightly higher premium for your entries, but then you will be doing yourself and your capital a much needed favor. Only and only post 2 p.m. if you get the expiry special setup based on the open interest and change in open interest, please trade that in tomorrow's expiry and use only quantities that you can afford to lose because those are hero zero trade setups which can fail as well. So yeah, that will be it about tomorrow. So on a daily time frame, we have a good enough candle. Finally, some breakout above this particular trend line as well. And we have got a closing, decent closing, I will say, not a very great closing, but a decent closing. A great closing would have been near the day's high. That would have made this like a good pin bar kind of a setup wherein prices move down but failed to do and would have shown some strength. Now, on a daily time frame, at a support level, uh, let's try to follow with me here. We got to move on the downside. We got to pull back. Now, what if we form a a higher low, and then we continue this? So this is a probable price action that might form over here, and we'll keep that in mind. I'll shortly share why. Again, nothing much on all time frames. On the early time frame, absolutely inside the range, a very, very small range today. Good consolidation, good, beautiful consolidation. We are seeing maybe some good build-up for tomorrow's price action again, but will not be predicting anything. We are prepared, keeping in mind everything. Number one trade for me will be I will take a long entry once we are above this region. I hope we get a good suitable opening and we are not simply moving in gaps. If we break down below this particular trend line, can we take a short trade? I will wait for this particular trend line at least. Sorry, this particular swing low to be taken out. I'll not be trading anything in between this extreme sideways zone. And once we are here, I will be taking a bet on the short side, but with very, very low quantities and extreme tight stop loss. The reason being on the daily time frame, the move that I just explained from the highs, we came down, we are at a support level, we have seen first bounce. Maybe if we are coming down, so that is the reason why if we move down, just to make a higher low, this will be the trade which we can participate in. Again, of course, with very, very low quantities. This will be a trade which is against our primary bias, and we will be trading this with very, very low quantities and will be trailing it strictly as well as if we whatever stop loss we have a logical predefined stop loss if the market hits it we will not wait in hope we will simply accept it and then move on. So that's it for today's Nifty trade plan. Remember, the real edge is not in predicting the market, but in following your process and managing your risk the same way every single day. If this video added value to your trading, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to Your Nifty Guy, and share this with one trader who is serious about improving their consistency. I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh Nifty plan, and I'll leave you with today's thought. Consistency in your process will always beat occasional big wins. Trade safe, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers and thanks for tuning in, guys.